I am taking the entire month off of work to focus on finishing my next book. And this is something that I feel really excited about, but also quite intimidated by. But I will tell you this, I am not going to be posting this video unless the book is done. So if you're watching this, the book is done. If you're new here, hi, welcome. I'm Anna. I'm a full-time book editor and indie author. I currently have one book published, and I have been working feverishly on finishing its sequel for quite some time now, and this is the month that the book will officially be done. Currently, the manuscript is standing at around 160 some odd thousand words. I have been trying to keep it like that, but I do have an estimated 20K to finish writing by the end of this month. So we're looking at probably a total of 180,000 words. I do feel like, honestly, for sci-fi and fantasy, this is an acceptable sequel length, so I'm trying not to panic too much. But when I look at the pacing of this book and when I look at how much I need to happen in this particular installment, there's really no getting around it. So we're doing the best that we can. However, we are encroaching upon the climax. We're looking at the final plot beats in the plot structure, and everything is going to be very fast-paced from here on out. So maybe I won't need as many words as I think. We'll see. I'm not stressing about it. For now, the only goal is to finish this book. And like I said, I will not even be posting this video unless it's done. Before I go any further, obviously, I have chosen the 1 month out of the year where there are a lot of social and familial commitments to consider, so I will not be able to write every single day, all day, for an entire month. I will be doing this in bits and pieces, in fits and starts, and I think that that's gonna be okay, because for the first time all year, I have been able to focus exclusively on my own story. As an editor, it is my job to kind of have my client stories percolating in the back of my mind at all times. I am always on the hunt for plot holes. If I can diagnose a plot hole, then I can treat one and I can fix it. But that means that I have to know my clients' magic systems and their storylines absolutely as well as they do. And so that is a lot of mental bandwidth that I end up surrendering to work. So to have an entire month in which I get to dedicate all of that to my own story has felt very wonderful, very good. It has sort of felt like I've been running with a parachute at my back and I just cut the strings. Things are going well. And yes, I am actually about a week and a half into this month off. I just haven't had the time to sit down and actually record anything. Which is also honestly a good sign. I love using YouTube to document the process of things for posterity's sake and for my own satisfaction. And I also do feel that it forces me to be a little bit more productive than I might otherwise be. But I have been so focused on writing that I haven't even thought about picking up the camera. And that has been a really nice experience at this point. With that being said, let's talk about our goals for today. Today I have a chapter that I have been both looking forward to and also dreading. This is a hugely, hugely pivotal chapter. And I think that that's perhaps why I'm so excited to write it, but I'm also incredibly nervous to write it. There's so much about A Dark Sky Opens that is critical to the overall efficacy of the series. This means that if I do not nail not only this chapter today, but the end of this book, then book 3, 4, and possibly 5 will be in jeopardy. Every character is going to be irrevocably changed from the events at the end of A Dark Sky Opens, and unfortunately, many of them are not going to make it out alive. I tend to look at the characters that I kill off very seriously. Nobody is arbitrarily dead unless it's sort of like we're taking a leaf out of the book of Game of Thrones, and the point is that it's arbitrary. The point is that nobody is safe. But for me personally as an author, I do like for there to be basically both a pragmatic reason to kill the character as well as a symbolic one. In this case, for this character, the pragmatic reason would be that they are, quite frankly, to use a video game term, OP. They need to be nerfed. They are too powerful, too strong. They have too much potential to completely solve all of everybody's problems, and so they unfortunately must go. The symbolic reason is the way in which what they stand for dies with them and how that radicalizes the people who witness this death. So there's that. I don't know about you guys, I grew up with a mother who watched a lot of soap operas, specifically Days of Our Lives. And so I always have it in the back of my mind that I can somehow find a way to creatively bring a character back from the dead, but this character must go. I may turn off the camera because I will probably cry when I'm writing this scene, but we're going to dive right in. And I am imagining that this will probably be a 2-part series. This is part 1. Part 2 will obviously be finishing the book. I'm really excited to have all of this documented and sort of immortalized for even just my own sentimentality's sake. I've been working on this book for a really long time. This series means so much to me, and to finally take it another step further and push myself into the realm of book 3 is just incredibly bittersweet is like the best word I can think of. All right, friends, I'm gonna grab myself a coffee and dive in, and I'm gonna bring you along with me. Thank you so much for being here, and let's watch me finish this book. This is gonna hurt. I can just feel it. Oh my god, I am not looking forward to this. I think I've mentioned this before. I'm going to mention it again. I am a spring and summer person. Winter, I need sun. Okay, now that I got that out of my body, Happy New Year. Today is the first day of 2026. I'm also sitting in like literally the most rickety chair. I got a brand new chair for my office on Christmas and I have yet to assemble it, so apologies. Right now we're dealing with my old one and she's on her last legs. The last week has been frankly traumatic. It has not been a good writing week. I have not gotten a lot of writing done at all. It's been very sporadic, very hit and miss. We tried, we showed up, but it overall was just not a good week. There were a few things that contributed to the perfect storm of the last 5 or 6 days. The first being PMS. Also, I have one of those bodies where it's just randomly like, you know what, let's spice things up. We don't need PMS, we need PMDD, just to like show her who's boss. And this was one of those months. To make it worse, the day before I started my period, one of my chickens, if you don't know, I have 5 chickens, and I love them. They are like my daughters. I love my flock of chickens. One of my chickens sweet little Henny Penny, she's not even 2 years old yet, started having some really concerning health issues. So I took her into the emergency vet, naturally completely emotionally unstable. Like, this could not have been a worse day to do all of this, but it's the way life goes. And when you're working with an exotic vet, you have to understand they are slightly primed to look at these animals as livestock. And that's fair. But my chickens are my pets. I love them. I don't eat meat. I haven't eaten meat in about 15 years. So that is not what they're here for. They hold so much value in my life that is outside their production of eggs. They are just fun. The vet naturally sort of was like, okay, so you paid $1 for this chicken about 2 years ago. You should probably just put her down because we don't know what's going on. It's going to cost thousands of dollars. And I was like, let me stop you right there. I am an emotional nutcase right now. I can't deal with this. I'm not putting my hen down. So I shelled out $1,300 for an x-ray and blood work, and we're going to figure out what is going on with poor little Henny Penny. Because what if it's just an infection? Like, can you imagine if I put her down, I ended her life over an infection? No, that's not my way of going about animal ownership. Anyway, I was dealing with all of that. I was feeling quite unhinged. It was overall just like a very turbulent week. There were other things going on behind the scenes, but it's fine. We have emerged. We're feeling better. Things are better. And I'm really happy to start a brand new year. That being said, I'm going to make myself a matcha, dive into writing. Oh, duh, the purpose of this update, I did finish writing that chapter in which I had to kill a character that I love, and shockingly, it was not really that bad. I think that the reason for that is the shock value of the moment kind of overwhelmed the sadness and the tragedy of it, because this character dies in such a disturbing way that I think everybody, including everybody, me and all of my characters who are definitely real, we were all left in shock, and I don't think we've processed the grief yet. It will come. For now, we're doing okay. We have since moved on to the following chapter, which is the last chapter before, actually no, I have 2 more chapters. So it's the last chapter before the next chapter, which is the last chapter before the climax, which is insane. I have a write-in with a friend tomorrow at a cafe. I'm going to take you along with me. I imagine right here and right now, I'm going to finish the chapter before the last chapter. Tomorrow, I'm going to finish the last chapter. Then I'm going to end this video because part 2 is going to be all about writing the climax and the end of this book, which is crazy to think about. I still don't even know if I believe myself, but if I'm posting this, if you're seeing this, the book is done. So that is really cool. Anyway, I'm going to make myself a matcha. Check this out, you guys. I got this adorable jar. Yes, I'm one of those jar collecting kind of people. It was filled with like cranberry sauce or something, and I just thought the potential for an iced latte in that beautiful jar, or an iced matcha, which is what I'm going to make right now. I think it's going to be perfect. We're going to make ourselves a matcha, sit down, get to writing, and yeah, I'm excited. Let's go ahead and start this year off on the right foot. not wise. I'm actually driving. We're headed to a cafe. I'm gonna go and get some writing in. I slept like shit last night, and so I'm really tired. But that is why coffee exists. And we're gonna override it with caffeine. Also, I'm sorry I don't have my good microphone. Hello and welcome back. I'm actually going to be making this very quick because this battery is about to die, but this is the final recap of today's video. In fact, as soon as I am done here, I am jumping straight into the next video, and we're going to be picking up right where we left off. The last few days have been really good. I have been remaining on track with writing. However, I did slightly deviate from the original plan. Instead of writing a chapter before the climax and then the climax, I actually ended up writing a chapter before the climax and then another chapter several chapters before the chapter that takes place before the climax. This all pertains to pacing, which is really hard to gauge in the moment. It's definitely something that takes practice to identify. And I just think me as an editor, I was able to see that there was not enough buildup to this battle. As we all know, there is a very detailed plan before going into the battle, and that plan never goes according to plan, but it's still important to establish nonetheless because it will lead up to the actual final plan being necessary. So I felt like I just needed a little more time spent on that, and I decided to give it that time. I'm happy with where everything is paced now, but I am sitting on the cusp of writing the climax. I actually wrote the first part of the chapter that has the climax, but I have not yet written the climactic moment. That is going to be happening in part 2 of this mini-series. So I'm going to be, like I said, picking up where I left off. Thank you all for being here and for sticking with me on this journey. It is genuinely one of the most exciting moments in my author career. I just feel like I've really caught my stride. I've been making progress with writing in ways that I have not been making progress for years. I have another fantasy series planned. I have a standalone horror planned. I'm just really excited to get back into the swing of writing books, not just writing all the time and being stuck in this purgatory of drafting, revising, but actually publishing. And I'm really excited to take you all along with me on my publishing journey for Dark Sky Opens this year, which I intend to be self-publishing. Oh, final note, I do have a newsletter going out today through Patreon entirely for free. If you would like to subscribe to that, I will leave the link down below. I will be including my absolutely spectacular coconut matcha recipe that I have been completely addicted to as of late, as well as a few behind the scenes updates. If you're more of a Substack person, I'll leave my Substack down below as well. I haven't posted anything yet, but I am open to cross-posting that content. So thank you all for being here, and I will see you in the next video when I actually get to finish this book. It's so exciting. Okay, I'll see you next time.